Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we are from Group 4. We are going to present on global service GBS and focusing on the outsourcing. So today we're going to learn on this slide what is outsourcing itself, the definition, and what is offshoring, and also what is the relation between outsourcing and offshoring itself, we do, and what is the benefits of outsourcing between the host country and the receive country. And also, how does it related to GBS? How does outsourcing is related to GBS? So before that, I would like to introduce our group members first. So we have five members in our group. We have Rahman, we have Irfan, we have Amir Aizat, we have me Farhan, and lastly we have Shafi. So Rahman, how?
So now we will go to the first topic, which is outsourcing. What's meant by outsourcing? Outsourcing is the practice of hiring a party outside the company to perform service or create goods, which means we will use other expertise to help in our production. For example, the computer manufacturing company may outsource their internal component from other company to save production. Okay. So basically, outsourcing is we use other expertise to make sure our product is successful and have their own quality.
Before I will relate between outsourcing and offshoring, I would like to present on the definition first. So as we also know that offshoring is the one we like to go to overseas or we go to another country. So in the definition is also so that it's the concept of companies want to conduct their business activity outside their origin country or their origin region. So for example, we can see as Apple Inc. They make iPhone. So Apple made iPhone, they didn't make in US, they manufactured it at China, because as we also know that China is one of the biggest country that focus on manufacture, and for them it was a low cost for them as because the labor is so low and more cheaper than the US. So how does it relate between outsource and offshoring? So we also know that offshoring is where the work is be done, or where the country is be done, and outsource is who does the work. So for example, like Rahman just presented earlier, that outsourcing is the third party who do a specific task, and offshoring is where the task will be done, or what country. So when it combined, we will get is offshore outsourcing, where we hire an external party to do the work and where or in another country. So this is how the most global businesses work today. So now let's proceed on the next slide, where why countries or companies want to outsource. Okay, so there are multiple factors where we show that the companies or countries want to adopt outsourcing as a preferred approach. So the first one is core competency. So core competency is when the company is focusing on their core businesses. So and they offloading the non-core businesses toward another country or another company. So for example, like I said before, like Apple. So Apple focus on design, innovation, technology, and they did not focus on manufacture. So that's why they outsource to China, where China is China is mainly on manufacturing service. So that if you go to the next reason is cost saving. So when US or Apple Inc. outsource their manufacturing service to China, they will have the advantage on the cost saving, which they can reduce operational costs by leveraging the low wage salary and more cheaper materials there. So that is the two reasons that I can present. Now we proceed on Rahman.
Okay, now we will go to the next part, which is access to specialized expertise. Access technology that are available in-house and maintain the quality of outsource, which means when we don't have the technology, such as we don't have accounting software, so we will hire the third party to do the accounting. Okay, next we will go to the scalability and flexibility. Offer the ability to quickly scale up operation based on market demand, which means we don't have we have the flexibility, because we don't have to hire the people in the long term, which is we can add and remove the resource quickly, and we can respond to the market demand.
So next, this is outsourcing process. So this is basically how the outsourcing work itself. So there is 4 steps in outsourcing process. First is to identify the right task, which means in the company there is core core activities and non-core activities. So a company will transfer a non-core activities to other company to save their time and cost. And then the second process is select a trusted provider. So once we know what to outsource, so we need to find a reliable provider that can do our job as what we expected. And then step number 3, to make a clear agreement, which means both parties will meet to an agreement where the demand of both parties will be met. For example, maybe the KPI and the rules when they are operate. And then number 4, we have manage continuously. So once both parties work together, so I give an example, maybe Apple outsource their customer service to Malaysian company MyTech. So Apple will continuously monitor MyTech on in terms of their job, in terms of their performance, whether it's correct or not. So moving to the next part, this is about the risks. What are the risks of outsourcing? So in doing outsourcing, there is 2 risks, which is divided into 2 parts, short term and long term. So for short term, the first one is pricing issue. This means price is changing from what we expect. So for example, Apple initially agreed to pay 200,000 ringgit to the Malaysian company MyTech for doing their customer service. But after 6 months later, MyTech demand more money, maybe because of the fluctuation of the economy or the currency of the ringgit Malaysia is going up. So there is changing the price. And then number 2, there is operational issue by the service provider. So in this case, I use the same example, MyTech. So maybe there is one day MyTech internet server is going down. So all the customer inquiry cannot be solved. So what happens is customer complaint will goes up, and then at the end Apple will take the blame because customer don't know what happened behind the scene. And then next, moving to the long term, first is non-performance by the service provider. This means, so let's see, as for 6 months earlier, MyTech doing a good job, good service for Apple. But after 6 months, they start to respond late, and there is a missing weekly report to the Apple. So when Apple realized this, it is too late because to change for a new service provider, it costs a lot of money. And then last one, we have goal mismatch, which means there is different goal or priorities between both parties. So for example, again, maybe Apple focus on quality of their product, but MyTech it focus on reducing cost. So MyTech hiring low experienced worker. So what happened is there is a drop of performance in the customer service of Apple, and then at the end there is a clash of the partnership in the both parties.
Okay, so next we move on to the case study analysis. The company we are choosing is IBM. So IBM was founded in 1911. So they provide many of the services, for example like consulting, collaboration, automation, cybersecurity and data analytics services. So they are also covering many kind of industry. For example, they serve healthcare production, finance, manufacturing, retail, government and large enterprise globally. So I will explain about the IBM's India operation and offshoring expansion. So IBM begin their operation in India since 1951. However, they begin to make major offshoring in early 2000, mainly in 2004. After 2004, they are moving 1,000 of jobs from US to the India. So why is India is one of the chosen company that IBM choose? So this is mainly because IBM is that is mainly because India have a lot of skilled worker in terms of IT and software. They also have a lot of English speaking workers, and then IBM can pay a lower wage to the India rather than they are paying to their home country. So next is the effect to the workforce reduction and offshoring. So IBM is actually planning to lay off 9,000 of US employees in 2025. So this is because they are shifting many of the operation, for example like corporate social responsibility, CSR, sales, consulting and others. They are shifting that operation to India. So in terms of economics, the layoff can raise or can increase the unemployment in a few key tech hubs. For example, like in Texas, California, New York, and North Carolina. So with this effect, many of the citizens of the US or many of the lack of workers are not satisfied with the offshoring situation. So they are protesting or they are demonstrating on this offshoring issue. So the next video, I will show you about the protest on US government about the offshoring issue.
Ohio, laid off workers from Indiana, retirees from Honeywell in Indiana that have lost their benefits. All of this calling on President Trump to do more to save these jobs, to stop offshoring of American jobs. The GM jobs, the workers from Lordstown, Ohio, found out that they were being offshored on the day that President Trump was inaugurated. So we're here today calling on President Trump to stop offshoring, calling on him to make sure that companies that are getting huge federal contracts stop shipping our jobs overseas. And that's why we're here today.
So now we will look into the company in Malaysia, which is Intel Malaysia. Intel Malaysia, officially known as Intel Technologies Sdn Bhd, was established in 1972 with start manufacturing in Penang. It was first offshore manufacturing site outside the US. By 1990s, Intel began to offshoring more support services to Malaysia, forming what we know now as GBS, which is Global Business Services. Intel Malaysia GBS Hub provide key services like finance, human resource, IT, procurement, and analytics. These services support Intel's global operation, including in US, Europe, and Asia. So why Intel choose Malaysia? This is because of our skilled worker, English-speaking workforce, have strong digital infrastructure, government support, and also business-friendly policies. That's why Malaysia is a top offshoring destination for Intel. Next is advantages and disadvantages to Malaysia when receiving Intel's offshoring. On positive side, Intel boosts Malaysia national exports, especially in electrical and electronic sector. It also creates 13,000 high-skilled jobs, develop digital talents, and high-tech workforce. Plus, Intel's success encourages more foreign companies to invest in Malaysia, which will support national economic growth. However, there are a few disadvantages to Malaysia. First, Malaysia can become too dependent on foreign companies like Intel. If Intel ever reduce its operation or move to another country, it will give a big impact to our economies and jobs. Second, Malaysia will easily affected to global economic crisis. For example, during COVID-19 or global recessions, if Intel's business slow down, Malaysia will feel the impacts too. So, while there are strong benefits, it's important to Malaysia to manage this risk carefully.
So the last slide is we're going to see how that outsourcing is related to global business service business. So outsourcing is really related with GBS, where we can see that GBS is the model where companies use as to integrate and centralize their support functions. For example, like human resource, HR, finance, IT, technology. So they are often using outsourcing and also offshoring to improve their efficiency and to have a better cost control and also efficiency. So next slide. So this I just want to show that the company ranking of the country. So there are top 3 countries. We can see that here is first India, China, and Malaysia. So we can see that India is first because it focuses on IT and technology. So India, there are a lot of skills, there are a lot of skilled and specialists on IT. So all of the country, such as US, will outsource their non-core businesses, mean IT, to India for their do their business service. So the same goes to China on manufacturing and also Malaysia. So next one. So this, I also want to show that the ranking from the 3 countries or also all of the country. So what is their strength, weakness, the strength on each sector? You can see that you have their financial attractive, people skills and availability, the business environment, and digital. So you can see that India is very high on financial attractive, and you can see that all of the countries below. So I think that's all from our presentation on the outsourcing dividends. And I think that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.